My girlfriend told me she's pregnant with triplets. Here's my incredible response. I'll never forget the way she said it. We were sitting in the car outside her apartment, the air heavy, the heater humming softly, when she turned to me, her eyes trembling but her lips curled into a smile that didn't quite reach them. "Ethan," she whispered, "I'm pregnant." My breath caught in my throat. The world seemed to tilt, like the ground beneath me suddenly shifted. Pregnant. My heart started hammering. I didn't speak, just stared at her, waiting for her to say more. Her voice cracked slightly as she continued. It's triplets. Triplets. The word echoed in my head, bouncing around in disbelief. Triplets. I wasn't even sure I had processed the idea of one child, let alone 3. For a few seconds I said nothing. I just looked at her shaking hands, at the nervous smile, at the way her eyes darted toward the window instead of meeting mine. Finally I managed to breathe out. "Triplets? Are you serious?" She nodded, her hand pressing over her stomach. "I found out yesterday. I was scared to tell you. I didn't know how you'd react." I reached for her hand, numb with shock and confusion. "Lena, this is wow. I mean, it's a lot, but love you. We'll figure it out." Her eyes softened, but something in them flickered. A shadow, a hesitation so faint I almost missed it. At the time I thought it was fear. Now I know it was guilt. The following days were a blur of mixed emotions. Fear, joy, anxiety, and a strange kind of warmth. I started imagining names, buying books about fatherhood, even calculating how we'd manage financially. Lena had always talked about wanting a family someday, and I thought, naively, that maybe this was fate's way of giving it to us sooner than planned. But then little things started to feel off. She became distant, avoidant. Every time I brought up the pregnancy, her answers grew shorter, her tone colder. When I asked about the doctor's appointments, she said she preferred going alone, claiming it was too early for me to join. I didn't want to be paranoid, but something in my gut told me something wasn't right. And yet, love makes you blind, or maybe it just makes you hopeful enough to ignore the obvious. 3 weeks later I found the message. Her phone was on the couch when I came over, face up. She was in the shower. Normally I'd never look. But that night the phone buzzed, and a preview flashed across the screen. "I still can't believe it's mine." "Are you sure?" My blood ran cold. My hands trembled as I unlocked her phone. I wish I could say I stopped there, that I respected her privacy, but the sinking dread in my chest pushed me forward. The chat was with someone named T. Just the letter. I opened it, my stomach twisting tighter with every scroll. "T, I haven't stopped thinking about that night." "Lena, stop please. You're making this harder. You said it was over between you two." "Lena, I know what I said. I didn't expect this to happen." "Do you mean the babies?" "Lena, I can't tell him the truth, he'll never forgive me." My vision blurred. I could feel my heart pounding against my ribs like it was trying to escape. My mouth went dry. I scrolled further, desperate for context, praying I was misunderstanding. But there it was in black and white. "T, I can't believe you're having my kids." Kids. The room spun. I felt like I was drowning, gasping for air that wasn't there. Everything I thought I knew, the love, the trust, the future we were supposed to build, shattered into 1,000 pieces. I heard the shower stop. The bathroom door creaked open. I quickly put her phone down on the couch, face down, and sat back numb. She came out wrapped in a towel, humming softly. When she saw me, she smiled faintly. "Hey, you're quiet. Everything okay?" For a moment I just looked at her, really looked at her. The woman I thought I knew. The woman I loved. The woman who had been carrying another man's children. And I lied. "Yeah," I said, forcing a smile. "Everything's fine." That night I didn't sleep. I lay awake, staring at the ceiling, my mind looping through the messages. I thought about confronting her, screaming, demanding answers. But every time I pictured it, the anger dissolved into heartbreak. I didn't want revenge. I just wanted the truth. The next morning I drove her to her appointment. She said it was a checkup, But I knew it was more than that. As she went inside, I stayed in the car, my hands gripping the steering wheel so tightly my knuckles went white. When she came out, she looked pale, her eyes red. She sat down without a word. I couldn't hold it in anymore. "Whose tea?" I asked quietly. Her entire body froze. She didn't answer right away, just stared straight ahead, her breath quickening. "What?" she whispered. "You heard me." I turned to her, my voice shaking. "Who is he?" She blinked, her lips parting. "Ethan, please. Don't lie to me," I said louder this time. "I saw the messages." For a long moment there was silence. Then she covered her face with her hands and began to sob. "I didn't mean for this to happen," she choked out. "It was one time. We'd been fighting, you were distant, and I. Don't you dare blame me for this," I snapped. My voice cracked under the weight of the betrayal. "You cheated on me, Lena. And you're carrying his children." Her sobs turned into quiet gasps, her shoulders trembling. "I didn't know what to do," she whispered. "When I found out I was pregnant, I panicked. I thought if I told you they were yours, maybe I could make it right." I stared at her, disbelief coursing through me. Make it right? By lying? By letting me plan a future around someone else's kids? "I love you," she whispered, reaching for my hand. Pulled it away. "No, you don't get to say that. Not anymore." I drove her home in silence. She cried quietly beside me, her head turned toward the window, and I stared straight ahead, gripping the wheel like it was the only thing keeping me from breaking apart. When we reached her building, she hesitated before getting out. "Ethan, please," she said softly. "Don't walk away from me." I met her eyes one last time. "You already made sure of that." And then I drove off. It's been 6 months since that day. People tell you time heals, but it doesn't, not really. It just dulls the edges until the pain becomes something you learn to carry quietly. Sometimes I still think about the life we almost had, the nursery we would have built, the laughter, the small hands gripping mine. Then I remember it was never mine to begin with. Last week she sent me a message. Just one line. "They're born. 3 boys. Healthy." I stared at it for a long time before replying. "I hope they grow up better than we did." Then I deleted her number. Because sometimes the most incredible response isn't revenge or forgiveness. It's finally letting go.